recording. Okay, so now we have to make this weird little pocket down here, and the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to go back into the modeling environment, and I'm going to create a boundary that encompasses this whole pocket. So I'm going to go to Sketch. I'm going to create a new sketch on top of this guy. All right, and I'm actually going to push P for project, and I'm going to use entities, and I'm going to select just that line. And I've turned off my projection link, so I should just have a blue half circle. Okay. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a rectangle from between these 2 points, and I'm going to stick it out. And this is so the tool can actually go beyond the pocket. And what I'm going to do when I make this, anytime you have a pocket that goes off an edge, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say from here to here, I'm going to say at least half the tool bit width. So we're going to be using a 1/4 inch bit. So we're going to say let's do 1.3, which is a little bit more than 0.125. Okay. Oops, and that moved in the wrong direction. So Control Z. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this line right here, and I'm going to say fix. So now that line is locked, and I'm going to type in 0.13. Okay. Now I'm going to unlock this line, and I'm going to use my trim tool, which is T for trim tool, and I'm going to make this little shell pocket. Cool. Stop sketch. Very cool. Now we can jump back into the manufacturing environment. You see these big red warning signs means that it knows that we changed something and it wants us to regenerate just for fun. Finally, I'm going to go to 2D adaptive clearing, and we're going to make this adaptive path. So this is a 3D path. We've selected our tool. Our geometry is going to be this. Oops, I'm sorry, I did 2D adaptive. 3D adaptive clearing. The tool is selected. The geometry is going to be, we're going to go to machining boundary, selection. We're going to pick this guy. And we're going to say tool, I'm going to say tool center on boundary so that the 1/4 inch bit can come up and go to this line, which kind of makes this little pocket unnecessary, but it's good to have in case we ran into trouble. So tool center on boundary means that the tool will go up to the edge of the line and go over it until the middle of the tool is on the line. This way you don't have any material left over. Okay, so I'm going to turn off rest machining, and then we go to heights, and this is where we adjust the heights. I'm going to go from stock bottom, actually, and then I'm just going to drag this blue one up until it's deeper. Let's see, deeper. There's the blue line. I just want it to be slightly deeper than our little pocket. You can see there's a little line right here, so I'm going to say 0.2. Okay, so just because this line is this deep doesn't mean that the tool is going to cut this whole thing out. And to make sure of that, I'm going to go back to my geometry, and I'm going to say model, and I'm going to say this whole thing is the model that I don't want you to cut out. To make that selection easier, I'm going to open up my models. I'm going to go to my bodies. Oops, wrong one. Where is it? Here. And I'm going to turn on. We're on the jaw. And I'm going to pick the body from the drop-down menu. Back jaw. Okay. Okay. Finally, we go to passes, and our maximum roughing step down is all we're going to do, 0.125. It's 1/4 inch. And then stock to leave, I'm going to put 0.01, and I'm going to put 0.01. That means it's going to leave a little bit of stock so that we can use the ball end bit to get in there and clean stuff up. And then linking, I'm just going to say, it doesn't look like there's any leads or leads out, so we say OK. And something is wrong. Edit. What's wrong? clearance is too low for surface. Z clearance is too low for surface Z height. Okay. So that just means something's wrong with my heights menu. Let's see what's going on in here. Stock top, stock bottom, 2 inches. I'm not sure what it's asking, but I'm going to move all this stuff up just to see. Okay. Still having a problem. Z clearance is too low for surface Z height. Z clearance must be greater than or equal to surface Z height. Okay, so let's edit. Where is clearance height? Surface Z is stock bottom. Let's check our setup. We are on the correct edge. There really shouldn't be a reason that's throwing me that error. No model selected. Let's see if we have to select our model, and that might fix it. Regenerate. Somehow that fixed it. So all I did was I went back into the setup, and I made sure that we chose a model that was our part, and it's right there. So somehow that fixed it, and you guys can now see that we have this nice little pocket being hollowed out. That's most of what we have to do. Let's go to the setup and simulate, and then I'm going to push play. I'm going to turn on. Oh, that's very funny. The reason that my stock is green and has these holes in it already is because when you select stock from model, it literally copies the whole body of the model. So it thinks that my metal looks like this green shape with these things in it. So that's not going to help me with my preview. So what I'm going to go do is go back to setups, and I'm going to edit setup 2, that one that we're in. And right here, instead of doing from solid, I'm going to switch back to relative size box, and I'm going to add no material. So 0, 0. And because I selected this as the model, you can see that it's making a yellow box around this guy. And then we go check our setup. Here's the golden side right here. So this is in the correct corner. I'm going to say OK, regenerate, and then let's watch our simulation one more time. Simulate. There we go. There we go. Now we can actually see what's going on. Looks good, and looks very good. And what's kind of cool in this case is that it's leaving me a little bit of a lip right here. This is why simulation is so important. So what we're going to do is go back to this pocket, this 3D adaptive, and we're going to say geometry, tool center on boundary. I'm going to say tool outside boundary. And then I'm going to change the height just a little bit so that when we look at it from this direction, okay, when we look at it from this direction, I'm just going to add a little bit to the stock top. So it cuts a little bit higher, 0.02. So now you see the blue line where it's going to start cutting is a little bit higher. I'm going to say OK. And possibly that will get us, now we have lines going up all the way up there. We're going to go to setup, and we're going to go to simulate, and here we go. One more time, full simulation at full speed. Crazy. Okay, so I think that this is the step over, and maybe it's just a small step over for the bit to clean up of 0.01. So now we're going to do one more thing. So since we've already done all this work, oh, now we have to use, sorry. We're going to switch, and we're going to do the parallel finishing pass in the next video.